Hey guys, so I thought about doing this video a while ago and I put it off because I can't really explain the experience I had. The only thing I can do is, with the best of my memory, explain what it meant to me, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try and title this video appropriately. Firstly, I want to say that the intention to harm yourself, to take your own life, is very misunderstood. I think the fact that I acted on it, and I have acted on it a few times, and I'm still here, is a blessing now. But I also think that it was actually, maybe it was never about that. Maybe it was just about putting myself through something painful to get me out of being so hypnotized, so numb, to actually feel something. Might not make any sense to you if you haven't experienced ideation of that kind. If you do watch this video, hopefully you have, but hopefully you understand what it means to you if you've got any experience of it yourself. So I remember when I did what I did, I'd made the decision that after I'd had a drink, I was going to jump off my friend's balcony. And I stared at the drink for about 40 minutes because obviously part of me was, scared, but also part of me knew I was going to do it. Anyway, I went to the balcony, had a cigarette, and then as soon as I finished the cigarette, I was like, okay, here we go. And I remember a question came up in my consciousness, and it said, do you really want to die in your life, or are you trying to explain or make a statement so people will understand what you're going through? And the answer was yeah, I do. I want them to try and understand. And I wanted to understand it, but I wanted other people to. And the second question was, if you were to live through this, how do you want to live? And my first answer was, well, I don't want to be, if I've got the choice, I don't want to be disabled, because I already struggle with my life as it is. I didn't know how I couldn't even conceive being, maybe worse off physically. So, I don't know where them questions came from. I'm going to run over 3 minutes, which I hate, but I'm going to run over it. And honestly, that was not the questions of someone that was conscious enough or conscious. That was not someone who is in ideation, is deep in that pain. They're not questions that you ask yourself. They're just not. So I put it down to higher consciousness, God, universe, destiny, whatever you want to fucking call it. That's what it must have been for me. So the reason I share this is because maybe I was never ever going to end my own life, but I had to go through that experience, and I had to experience what I just told you to understand that, or for me to kind of remind myself that maybe there's another reason why I'm here. Maybe there's a deeper meaning to life. Maybe it's not all about maybe it's not all as it's meant to, it seems. Maybe this reality is a version of life, and we've got to live the version of life to whatever meaning we're going to get from it. Does that make sense? It didn't really make sense to me, so if it made sense to you, well done. So yeah, and the reason I share this as well is because the one thing I don't understand is, and I hope that the reason, I just don't think anyone can say to me, okay, well, if you, I mean, I was high at the time, but if you are asked, if you had divine intervention, which is what I call it, then how come other people don't have that? And I suppose we'd never know if people have that, whether people who survive or do not survive their attempt on their own life. But isn't it interesting is not the right word. That's the thing I don't understand. That's the question that I want answered. And then I go into this, okay, so if I've been given this life again to go through what I've been through and to go through other stuff, new challenges, you know, I don't think about ending my life anymore. I just don't, ever. And then, but I've had to work on that. It didn't happen straight away. So even after I thought I got rid of that issue, it came back with, you know, I think it was about 6 months to a year down the line after I got out of after I was out of my coma and whatever. I was in a coma for 6 months, 6 weeks. So, you know, I had to relive my life again. It was wild. There's so much more that I could add to this video, but I realise I want to be short and specific. So if you do watch this to the end, I'd love to, not feedback, but I want to know what you heard, and also, you know, have you got an answer?